everybody, how is it going? Madam, Miss, Mrs. Freya is here, whatever you want. I'm gonna be a doctor very soon. I'm getting my PhD, so I don't care what Mr. or Miss you call me, you're gonna call me a doctor. I'm that cool. Exactly. Learn. Now, it's a bit sad to see that there are very few trans women who are successful and smart and owning businesses. And those who are actually are really, really smart and really, really cool. I am following one on YouTube. Her name is Jaya, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She's a trans voice trainer coach scenario. And this woman is gorgeous, one, but also she's so freaking smart and she used to compose her own music. Love this part. And eventually she started doing, like voice training because she knows a lot about sound. And me as a phonetician who works with sounds, this was very fascinating for me. So I learned a lot from her. And I also learned a lot from her for my work, not just from my voice. I mean, I think I have an okay voice. I don't think it's the best because I want to sing. And I do not like my singing voice, honestly. Making a circle. Ooh. I like this. So I do not like my singing voice, so I'm going to be learning how to do something. I'm actually trying to compose a new song now, and I'm not sure if I want to sing using my voice or not. I think I will, but I'm going to try to do something else. But I've been feeling very motivated, very, 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 very motivated this last week, maybe two. And for those who've been here for a long time, I play the guitar, and I'm a very creative person. And I've been trying to, because I'm listening to Underoath, which is one of my favorite bands from my teens, and I'm realizing, wow, they actually do a lot of polyrhythms. And the drummer, Aaron Gillespie, I think, he's such a handsome little man. Let's just put it that way. I had a crush on him when I was young. I didn't even know I had a crush on him when I was young because I just thought he was so dreamy, and I did not really think about it until now. Now I'm looking at him oh yeah, this is the guy. This is the reason why I like Underoath. One, he's a really good drummer, and two, if you look at his videos from 2004, 2006, he just looked really, really cool. He had this scene hair, and he sang and played the drum at the same time, and I find that to be really hard. So it's very admirable. So I think I have a type. But if you're a musician, yeah, I think it will be much easier for us to actually know each other deeper, if we put it that way, because I connect much better without using words than with using words. So if you show me your your creative side, and let's say it coincides with my creative sides, or it's really creative and really open and free, then I would like you more because of that, not because of the words you use. But also, your actions speak louder than your words. So, back to the point. Why do many trans women do not get to actually become something useful? Those who start very young, and I know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, two of them started really young, at 15, 16, and those two didn't even finish high school. And both of them have boyfriends and partners and stuff, which is kind of nice. But I'm why didn't you finish high school? I think they were very stressed about the transition, and they were worried about the different, the other parts of life, which are transition related and not really about studying and finding a degree. The first one is not really your typical, I need a guy to take care of me and buy me things because I'm pretty. The first one is more I was just too stressed, and I had a lot of dysphoria. I never really had the time to figure out whatever, which I think is not a good argument for trans healthcare or banning trans healthcare, right? So if you provide healthcare for trans people who are teens, I think they would definitely do better at school because they're not going to be wasting their time trying to figure out how to look good and how to not hate themselves, and they can actually start transition. And with this, they could focus on other things like school, and because they already have this self-esteem built because they already started the transition, so they know they're on the right path. If you don't give them this, they're probably going to spiral down like my friends, two of them, who are just like, who were stuck, probably till this day, one of them still stuck with her body, and now she's trying to go back to finish high school because she didn't have anything. She doesn't have a job, and what she did is start an OnlyFans account. Understandable, but why? And this is kind of what pisses me off as someone who's trying to get her PhD right now. But I started when I was very young, so I did my bachelor's degree, I did my master's degree, and I started my PhD as a guy. Well, I started my PhD as a non-binary person, and then I transitioned like mid-PhD into like a trans woman. I'm like, oh shoot, that's what I am, that's who I am. And it's still kind of messed up with my PhD a little bit, but because I'm not a social person, I'm not like an extrovert. So I just started studying a lot more to avoid thinking about my transition, and that kind of kept me busy. Because other than that, I would have been really messed up. So I think things speak for themselves sometimes. Like trans women in general, not trans men, trans women in general have this issue with jobs because it's an image thing. Actually, the other one. So the first two are dating. One is older than the other one, but the same thing. Both of them didn't finish high school. Both of them were just kind of lost in life. And I think the transition gave them another opportunity, which is great. But they do not have a purpose in society, except at this point, selling OnlyFans content. Which I don't know if they really want to do, but if they have to do, you know? Like many people just have to do that to make money. And some people who actually make good money stay there because I'm like, why go work much more when I can just be sexy and have people tell me I'm pretty and get paid for it? So besides this, the other one I know here, who I met in Seville, where I'm living now, started when she was 15 years old. 15 years old. And she looks like a 100% woman. And you couldn't even tell she was trans because she started very young, right? But the same thing, she didn't finish high school, she didn't graduate, and she's just like, not obsessed with the transition because she already had her transition. I think now she's obsessed with modeling or trying to find a job to be pretty. And that's kind of what she wants. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, women want to be models sometimes. I'm a feminist, so I'm anti things that lead trans women or women in general to just be bodies to be looked at and like lose their value in society. Like you can be very useful for society. Why are you limiting yourself to just being a physical thing that turns some men on or some women find you to be young and whatever? Like I don't think it's an achievement that you're pretty. Like you did nothing to be pretty. It's just your parents' DNA made you pretty. So it's like, it's nothing actually that you should be proud of or you should be investing in. If you're pretty, use it. But it's not something to be proud of. Like, it's not something that you achieve. And I have a friend who is actually a professional model. She's from Poland. And now she's like 30 something. And yeah, she's stuck because she's like, I've always been pretty and I feel useless now at 35 because I've never been anything but pretty. And now I'm seeing like people have purpose, have things. And my purpose is just to look good for people, to use me to dress me up and to walk me down aisles, and I'm just a body. Like there's nothing for it. That's her words. But she's very smart. I think she studied outside of that because she had the money and she had the time, so she traveled a lot, she invested a lot in herself and her knowledge, and touche, salute to that woman. But what do you think? Why do you think many trans women do not end up being dedicated to a profession or a job or studying or research or whatever? Maybe that's just my bias. Tell me what you think, because I did not meet any other trans woman who started young and is dedicating her life to something really professional. And that's kind of where I'm seeing a little bit more like of a bias from my side of maybe avoidant of the trans women community because I don't fit there. I'm a nerd, I'm antisocial. I like to be pretty, but I'm not gonna be like just pretty. Does that make sense? Look at me now saying I'm not pretty. But eventually, trans men do not have the same issue And I think it's also a misogynistic society or gender norms in society because many men or trans men, even if they apply, they look like young boys. It's not like trans women. Trans women, when they start, they look like men who are transitioning because they have very clear masculine whatever. Like if you look at a trans man who just started, if they don't have really wide hips, they just look like boys. So they are men, but they're like young, immature men. But they're still perceived as boys, male. And that's kind of the difference. And I think because of this, the society treats it differently and it's like, yeah, let's push them. They need to work because they are hardworking, they need to provide. And they have opportunities because society is telling them, yeah, we want you to have opportunities, otherwise you'll never have a wife and kids. And society wants everything for men to, have wife and kids. But I have also met some trans men who are not very, let's say, dedicated, but maybe because I haven't known them very deeply. They have jobs and it's okay, but online, at least so far, the trans women I know personally here, like close to me, none of them actually does anything. Wait, two of them are not working. One of them, her boyfriend is paying for her apartment, and the other one is living with her parents who's not even finished high school. And that's the young one. And then the other two that I know in different city, same thing. Like they're both doing OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm the one who's actually grinding. I have 2 jobs and a PhD right now, and still look good. But tell me what you think. Like, why do you think it's society, like society doesn't want trans women to be in the workplace because it disrupts the image? I actually had someone tell me this. She's like, I'm applying, but I don't get hired. And whenever I apply, they tell us, oh, we already filled it in. Like if she applies in person or if she gets to the interview. And I think they're not going to tell you we're not going to hire you because you look trans and we don't want a trans person here. They're just going to tell you, oh, we're not hiring anymore. We found someone. So the thing is, you could tell if the image is a certain thing. I'm really lucky that I work online and mostly no one needs to see my face. So, but I applied to many jobs in Spain and I did not get hired, even though I'm actually really, really qualified. And I'm just wondering, like, why? And in one of the instances, I looked at this school's, like, I was applying for an English teacher job. I looked at this school's website, this private school, whatever, and it was predominantly right-wingish, white, Spanish from Madrid. And Madrid is very known for its right-wing community. And I think they kind of looked at my picture. I looked like a woman, like with my curly hair, whatever, but like I did not look white and I did not look right-wing. So it's not maybe because I looked like a trans woman, but also because I did not look like what the prototypical right-wing woman looks like or expected to look like. So this is actually something you'll find in the workplace. So what do? You cannot force people to hire you. Can you force people to hire you? No. And this is where the government is stuck. Like they put laws and rules and whatever, but then you cannot really know why you get rejected and why are some people not being hired. Now, I'm an immigrant in Spain, so it's going to be a bit hard if I have to find a job here. I'm actually really lucky I studied first because if you're a trans woman who are just starting, get financial independence before you do anything, because I buy my hormones because I have money. I rent my own house and I'm free to transition and cry and laugh or whatever because I have the money. I have a job that values me and gets me the money so I can afford everything I need. I can even pay for the surgery if I want to right now. I don't need anybody. I said no to my parents because of the money. I moved countries because of the money. And if you're a trans woman and you're starting very young, go get yourself a degree. Get a certificate. Get good at something. Don't just sit there and expect someone to take care of you. You could do that, but have financial independence, and then your transition is going to be much, much, much smoother because you can support yourself and you don't need anybody else after that. And your parents cannot force you to do transition. Your partners, whatever society you're in, no one can force you to do anything when you have financial independence. So get that. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'll be seeing y'all later.